What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Virgo, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So Virgo, I'm still working on the intro for this, but this is going to be your general weekly spread or, something along those lines. I promise I'll have this all together soon. But it's just going to be, just like your weekly spread. And whenever you come across this video, it could resonate for you, okay, Virgo? And then just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Virgo. So Virgo, with this spread, just going to be going with the flow. And I'm going to pull a few oracle cards, and then we'll get some tarot cards to clarify, okay? And just so you know, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Okay. Nice. And then lastly, these readings that I do, wow. So lastly, you might be experiencing a bit of deja vu, but these decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Virgo. But Virgo, let's get to your reading, because you got the second card of Taurus here, which is a tandem bicycle. And with the tandem bicycle, this is a card of synchronized, alliance, duo, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness, simpatico, aligned, hookup, cooperation, harmony, help, loin, consensus, and two of a kind. And so with this energy, Virgo, I do feel like this is a wonderful time, especially thinking too, Venus, depending on when you're watching this, Venus is just moved into Gemini not too long ago on the 10th or the 11th, I want to say, and she'll be there for a few weeks. But I bring that up to say that this is a great time for being, for socializing. On top of Pluto being in Aquarius, this is a good time, there's like collaboration, partnerships, all of that, whether this could be like, forming like business partners, This could be for romance, but I will say when we're kind of like, and I'm going to talk about this more on the planetary spreads next week, but with Venus being in Gemini, it's not that love can't happen. It's just that it's going to be, because Gemini energy is more like about communication and stimulating the mind, and so this is going to be a time where it's like banter is going to be the name of the game. Come and bringing your A game. Having like rich conversations and whatnot. That's where Venus energy is kind of at right now. This is very flirty energy. So just something to keep in mind if we're thinking about romance. But then this could be something too. Maybe we're thinking about possibly, doing some work within our like community or whatever this is. But just on that aspect, if we've just been thinking about things along those lines, I say definitely, Virgo, this is definitely the energy to work with others and just going forward. And definitely, this year for sure, just getting it started, but for like the next 20 years going forward and just forever, Virgo, just working with people. But also, before we get into this, get some tarot, I'm just also getting with this, just like checking in and making sure that we're just doing things that feel harmonious to us, whether that comes down to where we're working, to the activities that we're doing, as far as like, are we, how's our body feeling? Have we been moving the body? Is everything feeling in harmony there? Just like, the random stuff, mind, body, spirit, all of that stuff, just making sure that just everything has just been running smoothly, Virgo. But let's get some tarot on this and see what's some underlying stuff in this energy. Interesting. Okay. More. Oh, this one. All right, let's see what else we got. All right. Okay, Virgo, so we have the Seven of Wands upright, and then you got the Page of Swords and the World in reverse. And this is interesting, Virgo. You know, I feel like with this Page of Swords, if we've been having some ideas, you know, whether that's be for business, for life, you know, just like some stuff that we've just been kind of like cooking up, and maybe we've been kind of bouncing ideas off to some people, you know, and maybe that's been met with, or how do I want to put this? If we've had some, let me put it like this, Virgo. If we've had some ideas or have ideas that we want to get started, and if we've been feeling in this place of like doubt or something along those lines, Virgo, I feel like that, again, when it comes to, because the Seven of Wands can be like a card of criticism. And so if we've been, maybe we've pitched an idea with someone, and it's one thing, I feel like, for a person to, when we're looking for critiques, that if they're just like, well, that's a dumb idea, Virgo, and then like that's it, then that's not someone we want to. It's like how I tell you at the beginning, you know, take what resonates with you and leave the rest with them. But if this is, you know, Virgo, it's just so much happening. So if we've been working with people like that, I feel like that is changing, you know, don't let what these people say deter this idea, you know, because maybe this is just something they may not be able to see your vision here, Virgo. They may not see the world that you're trying to paint here. But I say that we want to be with people who are, when we pitch these ideas, it's just like, okay, I see where you're going. Have we considered X and then for blah, blah, blah? You know, like we want someone we can bounce ideas off of, where we, you know, where there's that harmony, you know, that feeling that, you know, we're trying to raise each other's vibrations together. When your vision wins, they win, you know, and vice versa. So this energy for me, really, if we've been feeling like maybe like low self-esteem, maybe with our ideas, and it's just because maybe there are some people in our lives that might be bringing us down, this may be a time to draw some boundaries here, Virgo. And, you know, not necessarily have to cut people out, but it's just like they may not be, maybe don't take your ideas to this person. You know, they may just not be, especially if it's lowering your vibration, because it's two different things to get just like a critique, and then for them to just like shoot down and just like, you know, just poo-poo an idea. But I also feel like, Virgo, you know, this is, you know, just because Virgo energy, you know, you want things to be perfect. You want things to be in line and to be orderly. And I feel like that this is something where just being mindful of not shooting down our own ideas as well, Virgo. You know, even if it sounds, because this might be something where it sounds like maybe it's like the craziest idea, and we may have our doubts like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to manifest that. But it's like, hey, don't knock it until we've tried it. Maybe pitch some ideas first, see, because maybe someone can, that they can take something that's so fanciful, and maybe they can provide that bridge for you to bring it to the world. You know what I mean? They may provide inspiration. So just something to think about, Virgo. You know, this is a time to, the only crazy idea is the one that's not being implemented right now. So if we have some things that we've been cooking up here, I say give it a try, Virgo, and just be sure to just protect your energy, you know, and to not let the critique of others, because everybody's going to have an opinion here. But, and I would say too, you know, if people want to have an opinion of what you're doing, for an example, my question is, well, what are you manifesting? And that's nothing, you know, and we don't have to maybe do it in that tone, Virgo. Let's not come at them. You know, let's send them higher vibrations. It's just like, oh, well, you know what I mean, Virgo. It's like, we don't need to get into that. I don't need to tell you how to you know, tell someone off. But let's see more. Let's get a little bit more on this, Virgo. Okay, so we got the Six of Cups here. Interesting. And then we have the Temperance in reverse. And so, you know, Virgo, I really feel like with the Six of Cups here, because maybe something in the past, you know, maybe we were at this place where we've had these ideas, but maybe because we've we've been turned down so much we just don't feel like sharing. We remember these past experiences have just kind of like colored made us just like a little apprehensive. But Virgo, I really feel like, don't feel afraid to share these opinions, especially I feel like it's, with people that align with us, that we feel that we have that unison, that equality, that synchronization, that balance, that harmony. Because I feel like, when you start sharing this stuff and start trusting this stuff, excuse me, Virgo, this will help you in your whatever it is, these ideas or whatever that you may be trying to manifest. I feel like this can help you, but it's just, I almost feel like it's just being mindful of whom we're sharing our ideas with, and again, if they're throwing us out of balance here and they're preventing us from manifesting properly, then these are people that we might need to cut some, maybe put some boundaries with. But, Virgo, this is something as well where I'm just thinking that if this is like let's say this idea that you have, maybe this is something where you're thinking where you may need to learn a new skill. And where sure the internet has so much information and there's so much out there, there's so much information. It's just like trying to suss through all that. Sometimes that can be a lot. And I feel like that maybe this could be where maybe finding like ourselves a teacher, maybe finding someone who we feel like aligns with where we're trying to go on this journey here, who's going to help you with this growth, to really help you to create this world here, Virgo. So just something to be in mind of as well, if that's something that we might be thinking about, being open to networking and just, maybe finding a mentor. So, Mark? All right, Virgo. Yeah, I hope that made sense. That was an interesting start there, but I'm with it. And Virgo, this might be something too, just with these doubts and things. I'm just thinking, with Mercury retrograde approaching. Mercury's your ruler, and so you might be feeling a little out of whack right now. There may be some doubts going in there, so try not to let that deter you. If anything, this is a great time to have like a sounding board, have someone to bounce some ideas off of. And again, someone that you trust, someone that is going to have your best interest, that has that harmony there. So yeah, let's get some more oracles in the mix here. Interesting. I like that. Okay, so you got the fifth card of Geminis here. I don't think I've ever gotten this one. You got the fifth card of Geminis here, which is the Yacht card. Look at you, sailor. Oh, look at you. You might be Virgo. Interesting. We're going to talk about that in a second, Virgo, because the Yacht card, this is a card of adventure, affluence, luxury, mobility, travel, great ease, smooth sailing, sophisticated, with the wind, self-indulgent, prosperity, comfort, wealth, over the top, and extravagant. Woo! Look at you, Virgo. All right. Because this is an interesting card, but what initially kind of stuck out to me, Virgo, was that maybe for some of us, just think, you got a bike here, you got a yacht, you got the world. This may be a good time for some of you to maybe get out and maybe traveling more, because maybe on your travels, who knows, like who you might meet, this like what opportunities could possibly come from this, but. Yeah, this is interesting, and I feel like that when you also, Virgo, that when we start doing things that are harmonious with us, like that align with our energies, and also start working with people that align with our energies as well. I feel like that this card is saying, things can be smooth sailing and all of this stuff, it can be just like a time of wealth and prosperity and things. It's just like what this would be like a time just like to figure out what is preventing that. What's getting in the way of us manifesting this world, this yacht, these dreams here. And then let's get that stuff synced up here. But let's get a little bit more on that Virgo, because this is I like that. Virgo, I'm also kind of getting with this. That possibly, just it kind of popped in my head that maybe some of us, if you've been presented with an opportunity as of late, Ace of Pentacles, if you've been presented with an opportunity as of late, and we're having our doubts, I feel like that this is something where, especially if this is something like an opportunity to like travel or something along those lines. And I say, Virgo, trust your intuition, but it just seems like that maybe for some of us, if we've been feeling like that, we haven't gotten like any sort of like wins here recently. It's just been sort of like, life has just been sort of like, just kind of like dragging on. We've been putting a lot of work in, really been trying to crank, trying to get to this place of affluence and Ace of Pentacles and prosperity, but it just feels like we can't get ahead. Then it may be time, I feel like, Virgo, really just like with because the Ace of Pentacles, this is new opportunities, or all the aces, there are new opportunities. So this could be maybe considering, if we're not pleased with like our job, for example, maybe changing that up. Or if we've been, this could be, I'm not getting a lot of, well, other than like the tandem bike, but if we are in a relationship and if we feel like it's not been, if there's been just like a lot of problems, one, I say talk through it, especially if it's something you want to salvage. But if we don't feel like that, there's just like a lot of dissonance here, then we got to figure out what we want to do. But it's interesting, Virgo. Just like it seems like that there's some kind of opportunities here, but I just feel like that maybe we need to shake things up, maybe change up how you travel to work. Maybe this is something like if you have like a normal route that you take, maybe switch things up a little bit. Or I don't know, Virgo, like if you again, or maybe if we haven't taken some time to travel, maybe getting out, because maybe while you're out there you might find yourself talking with someone, maybe on a yacht or like on a cruise or something along those lines, and then next thing you know, we're discussing new opportunities and you're getting that win that you're looking for. But yeah, there's something here, Virgo, that it's like maybe there's because it could be an idea, or this could be a person, or just like, I feel like that if we've been looking for something, it's time to go on that adventure and really kind of seek this thing out. I don't feel like that. This kind of reminds me, Virgo, like it reminds me of like that story of like where you would have a server who, or like someone who works at a restaurant who's waiting, who's like has like an acting career, and they're waiting for that agent to come in, but they're not going out there. And instead of going out there and creating their world, they're waiting for the world to come to them. And that's why I feel like, Virgo, it's if we want more, if we want this easy, I feel like we're gonna have to get out of a comfort zone and throw ourselves in a little discomfort. But man, I feel like it's definitely going to be worth it in the long run here. And this Page of Swords, I feel like it's something that may sound like a crazy idea at the time, but if it's something that resonates with you, Virgo, I say, we can be smart about this, especially if this is something like, I'm thinking like a job, for example. No one's saying to quit your job. If anything, maybe we can try to get this down to part-time, or however this looks, while you explore this stuff, maybe tap into some PTO if you haven't taken any time, but get yourself out there, Virgo, just put some feelers out there. Who knows what's coming? Because the Six of Wands, this is like a journey card here, and I feel like don't be afraid of the journey, Virgo. It might be a little tough at first, but I do feel like it's going to be worth it. You know, it'll. Who knows what kind of opportunities will come from this? Love it. Got the Death card here. Love it. And you got the Wheel of Fortune here, Virgo. That's epic. Because you, lucky you, where do you want to go next? You know, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Really is, it gives us this control, because I feel like that with it being in reverse, maybe we've been feeling like that just things have just sort of like been happening. You know, the wheel have just been turning and we've just been sort of just like going along for the race. But now with the Death card coming up, it's just like, if you want to change that narrative, Virgo, have at it. You know, Scorpio energy's here, but it's something that you're going to need to do a deep dive, figure out what it is that's needing to be changed, and then finding balance. Because check this out. I mean, we're going from, you know, Death cards 13, then you got the 14. I had something more epic to say. I'm stay with me, Virgo. But this does feel to me, Virgo, like you can take fate into your hands, which, I mean, you can. You know, if we really kind of connect with source here and just kind of listen to where our intuition is guiding us, trust those ideas that might be popping in your head here. And, you know, Virgo, I feel like that, you know, the Page of Swords, you know, it's just like, if we've been seeing any signs, any like indicators, let's say if we've been thinking about traveling, you've been seeing boats and bicycles and trains and automobiles. Those are signs, you know, that could be something to just check out, Virgo, because who knows what kind of metamorphosis can happen. But I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune, it's one thing to know that there's Ace of Pentacles, to have all this wealth, this world stuff it's one thing to know all this stuff, but to me, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's like you have the $1 million lottery ticket, but we don't do anything with it. So, Virgo, let's get this wheel turning, especially if we've been feeling just like that we want more for life, or just like, you know, that we haven't gotten those big wins, or just seems like we can't get ahead. And it's going to be, again, you know, sometimes with Scorpio energy, it might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but it really is a necessity. You know, it's part of the major arcana train. We got to go through these transitions. So, all right, Virgo. Oh, excuse me. Oh, okay. Nice, Virgo. I like that, because you got last card here. We got the fourth card of Libra, which is the Yoga card. I absolutely love this card, because this is a card of contemplation, deep breath, centered, go within, steady, balanced, relaxed, take a break, inner child healing, meditate, time alone, balanced chakras, reflection, wellness, and rest. In that, Virgo, I feel like that's how you get synchronized, simpatico, harmonious, you know, meditating, because this Virgo, to me, is a very, we're asking big questions here. We're asking like big like life questions, like how do I get this thing, how do I make this journey more, you know, just where it's smooth, you know, where it's just like where we kind of even in a more like on a tumultuous time, you know, how does our ships get through this the easiest through even like the storms and stuff, you know? This is a time to really meditate, do some contemplation, maybe get out in nature. Again, maybe all this travel, maybe go on a retreat, you know, kind of find yourself, reflect on the Wheel of Fortune as well. You know, this is like a representation of cycles. And this is a time, if we haven't taken a moment to reflect, look at what's been going down up until this point. You know, what areas in our lives did we hit? What areas in lives do we feel like we could have done better? And then and then sitting with that, Virgo, and then mapping out what does that look like, you know, because this could be, maybe this is like you're charting your, you know, just you're charting your course, Virgo. You're really kind of, something's getting ready to happen, and it's time for, you know, to get centered and to go, like, really just take a break and just like kind of go live life for a little bit and to see what it is that you want from the experience. Because sometimes I feel like that we can feel that just like this life questions can be so overwhelming or so grand that we can't possibly, you know, it can become just a lot. So just be with it, you know, take a moment, Virgo, and really just kind of just breathe for a second, get zen it up, and figure out how we want this world to look. But let's get because oh man, yeah, I mean, just looking at the planetary energy that's here. You got Saturn represented by the world, and then Jupiter represented by the Wheel of Fortune. Both of them require higher learning, but both are also equally abundant. Jupiter's a little more abundant with his, you know, he's a little more generous with his abundance. You know, Saturn can be a bit of a hard, I'm kidding, Saturn, you know, wants a little more work, but there's abundance that's getting ready to come for you, Virgo. But it's, hold on, let's get some tarot on this. All right, Virgo. So we have the Strength card in reverse, and then we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And I'm with that, because I feel like once we take this time, Virgo, and get out of our heads, because maybe this is something where you just might be overthinking this thing, and we might really just need to take a moment and just kind of just get out of our heads for a second. I feel like once you take that time and really just get a game plan here, we're going to feel a little more confident about our direction in life, you know, about where we want to take this Wheel of Fortune, you know, where we want to guide this thing. But if we keep going from like a reactive state, you know, and just kind of like, just sort of like, it's just going to keep you out of whack, Virgo. It's going to keep all this major stuff in reverse here. But you see, of your majors, Virgo, the one that's not in reverse is the change, you know. And that shows me that you can do this, Virgo, because I know you can. You absolutely can when you because Virgo, yours is a sign of your improvement. You know, you really know how to work with the energies and to bring the best out of others, out of a situation, and most importantly, out of yourself. And when you put in that energy, Virgo, I tell you this all the time, this is yours. This is abundance. You can live on easy street. You know, this can be where because you think too, you know, of the earth signs, you're the mutable. You know, the mutables are the most adaptable, the most flexible of all the earth signs. And that's a major bonus, you know, coming into, you know, when we're thinking about manifesting in this realm. So, Virgo, don't think that you can't have a yacht, you know, and I'm serious, you know, that you can't get your affluence, you know, your opulence, you know. It's just being in that energy and feeling confident that you absolutely can. You know you can. This is Leo energy. You can't tell Leo nothing. Like, they're the type, and you know what? Just thinking, we're just like with the, well, never mind. But confidence, Virgo, because you absolutely have this. More. Let's get some more on this, Virgo. All right, Virgo, let's see what's our last little bit here. Interesting. All right. So last little bit here, we got the Three of Swords here, Virgo. You know, we're going to switch back over. Because Virgo, with this Three of Swords popping up, you know, when we're thinking about these really big stuff, it's just like how can I get abundance? What resonates with me? How do I change this? What is this? What's the purpose? When we get into those big stuff, it can be a lot, that can weigh down on our feelings, because Three of Swords can be very melancholy, or melancholic, is that a word? I'll have to look that up, but very somber energy, can be borderline like depressing energy. But I feel like don't let the fact that you're asking this big question of yourself, like what does this next look like? If we're feeling frustrated, it's just because like that you deserve more, that there is more for you, let that frustration that let that become fuel to drive you to get your wheel of fortune, to get yourself balanced, temperance, to get just relaxed and all of this stuff, but yeah, Virgo, really, when you get some chance, and and I don't know if I had mentioned this, but this is something where if we're having these big questions, Virgo, and if we're just at a crossroads, we're feeling stuck, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Maybe if this could be a professional, this could be a good friend, family member, however this is looking for you. But don't feel like you have to shoulder this alone, because Virgo, we all think about it. So it's not just like and you know what? Don't let that even like get you like, well, crap, so no one knows. No, it's like, if anything, no, this gives us a chance to figure this out together, because sometimes, Virgo, I find that it can be hard to find. It's easier, and you might be able to relate to this, Virgo. Sometimes it's easier to find the strengths and how other people can improve. It's easier to point those out and what they can focus on than really focusing on what we can improve ourselves. And that's not a dig, Virgo. It's just an observation. It's just like, it's not just for your sign. I feel like everyone can do that. But the nice thing is, maybe having like a person who you can bounce ideas off of with. They see all, because I tell you, Virgo, every time sun, moon, rising, Mercury, Venus, it don't matter where the Virgo placement is. I'm just like, when I see Virgo placement, it's just like, all right, that we heard. Okay, they're going to get to work. It's just like, I see the potential's already there. That already like, okay, like I'm with it. So, and I think it's just finding that person, Virgo, and then, you can kind of help each other out, and then who knows how this may expand. You might create a whole community here with this world, and you may travel and maybe this can become like a whole self-improvement thing, Virgo, because your sign is a sign of just like, of service and of being of help and of raising the vibration, So, yeah, Virgo, just take this chance. This is something big is happening. And it's like, I'm noticing that this is like happening in like, it's like pockets. It's like going down the Zodiac, or just kind of popping around the Zodiac. So Virgo, there's this big energy is happening with everyone. You know what, Virgo, last little bit. This is a great time. If you are thinking about this, sit down and write like a list or something, make your intentions known, because on the 19th and between the 19th and the 20th, and I'm going to talk about this more next week, but there's going to be a hybrid solar eclipse. And these don't happen that often. This is a very rare eclipse. They happen like maybe once a decade or so. And it's happening in Aries. So if we've been wanting to take action on stuff, and it's like on the last it's like the annular degree of Aries. So this is a time of like, this is like a second chance, Virgo, to really, if we didn't set any kind of intentions, to really think about what's that next grand thing look like, and then go out there and get it. So, all right, I'm gonna leave that there, and I hope that made sense. That was a fascinating reading, Virgo. But there's something's cooking up in the soul tribe, Virgo. So again, don't feel stressed or feel like that you're behind or anything. There's just the vibration's raising. So give pumped. But if anything resonated with you, Virgo, give it a thumbs up. Just like, and where my head's been at with the thumbs up is just like, yeah, the likes it's a bonus, but it's more so just like an indicator of just like, oh, there are other Virgos going through this. Like, okay, I'm not in this by myself. Like, okay, let's get back. And you know what? And that shows too, like, you know, they showed up to this video, and you know, and hopefully, you know, they're keeping it going. So let that keep you going, Virgo. And if you know someone who's going through this, share this, you know, because it could be really just maybe just like a getting out or something, you know, maybe. And this doesn't have to be, I don't know if I had said this, if you don't, it doesn't have, I feel like it doesn't have to be anything like, you know, super like across the sea or around the world or anything along those lines. It could just be maybe to the next city over. It could just be to a park. It could be to your backyard, you know, but just something where you can just kind of be with yourself for a while and just kind of figure this out. But, and then, you know, while you're in this state of enlightenment and enrichment and deep meditation, you know, once you're done, subscribe, hit that bell button, you get notified when I release videos each week. And also, while you're becoming so wise, social media wise, I'm working on some other stuff behind the scenes. I actually got to hit up a Virgo, but I'm on this app, Insight Timer. It's a meditation app for you to do some yoga with there, Virgo. But it's a meditation app, and I started a group on there called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. So I would love Virgos. I would love Virgos over there, because it's a place to just like to drop like positive affirmations and encouraging messages. I already have a treasure trove there, Virgo. So if we've been needing like a pick-me-up or something, hey, Ace of Pentacles for you. Look at you, it's so abundant. But Ace, you know, I was gonna say Ace of Pentacles again. But also, Virgo, you know, this is like for you. If you think of any affirmations, encouraging messages, or just need a pick-me-up, you know, it's all there for you. But, you know, and as the group grows, you know, I would love to get, you know, where we're all scheduling meditations together, maybe meditate during the eclipse or something along those lines. But, you know, check that out, Virgo. Again, it's on the meditation app Insight Timer, and the group is called Zodiac's Raising the Vibration. I'm going to do some work. I'm going to include all that stuff in the description box below. So give me within like the next week or so, I'll have all that stuff updated for you. And then lastly, if we have any Cancer in your placements, you know, sun, moon, rising, wherever, Virgo, come over and check out my other channel, The Chariot and Friends. Do videos Monday through Friday there. We actually were just talking about cycles. That's been like a big topic in the channel here as of late. But talk about cycles, lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Virgo. Because Virgo, wow. So you got the King of Wands in reverse here, and that's fascinating. More because, wow. Because let me tell you what's going down in my head, Virgo. Temperance, Sagittarius, King of Wands. Sagittarius, he's got how I like to look at the court cards here as of late, you know, how the court cards, a little history here, just like a little sidebar. One of the ways they can be read based off of, I can't, the Golden Dawn or the Hermetic, it's escaping me at the moment. But the court cards, they rule, like, for example, King of Wands, he's Sagittarius, so he would rule the first 2 decans of Sagittarius, so the first 20 degrees, and then the last 20 degrees of the previous sign, which would be Scorpio. And so I like how I like to describe them. It's like he's a Sagittarius with like a Scorpio moon. But what's that all to say is that you got Scorpio, yes, but you got all this Sagittarius energy in this Jupiter energy, but all this abundance, because like Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and this is nothing but abundance in this little pocket here. But the fact that it's all reverse, Virgo, if we haven't been feeling abundant, I feel like this King of Wands, you know, with that Sagittarius, they're about expansion and higher learning and in exploration, adventure. This is in Sagittarius wheelhouse right here. And so, let me start shuffling for your oracle card. But this is inside Sagittarius's wheelhouse. And really, Virgo, this, I feel like, is a time for you to really just journey within and figure out where do you want to, and what does abundance look like for you? How do you want to manifest that? Because when you do, it's going to be, it's going to really do, I feel like, just do you so well, you know, because you got the Poppet card here. And the poppet card for me, or at least I feel like in this instance, this is like really, kind of, because it's like taking your ideas and manifesting them, Virgo, and no matter how they look like, it may, in your head, it may seem like this at first. You may think like, I can't do anything with that. There's no abundance here, just as an example. But then you go to work on this stuff here, you go to release this, maybe you decide to open up a little pop-it shop, and then, it's like it's a crazy seller, like people are absolutely in love. They're wondering when you're going to open up another store, but Virgo, this really does seem like a time for you to just like go get a game plan, go do some experimenting, try some new things, go meet some new people, and just go live life for a little while, and just kind of just go zen out, as it makes sense for you, and just see where that takes you, because I just feel like that there's something just amazing on the horizon here. So all right, Virgo, I think I'm going to leave that there. So you stay safe out there on your travels, because I tell you what, I think the soul tribe is getting ready to start moving around here. There's a lot of motion that's going on here, and I'm with it, Virgo. So yeah, you stay safe out there, and Virgo, really take this time, raise your vibration to the roof, because this to me, even if you may not be, if you're not feeling abundance, let me tell you, like you could have fooled me, because that's all I see here is abundance. That's all that's here, Virgo. And take a moment and just be in that. Stay steeped in that energy, because you are abundance. You're King of Pentacles. You're represented by the King of Pentacles. So there's abundance all around you, Virgo. And I will catch you on the next one later.